Hey everybody, welcome to On the Nose. I am here with Liz, also known as Robot Liz. You can find her on
Hello.
Instagram and TikTok. And I had like a little bit of an oops, and my microphone wasn't recording, so we are actually starting this part again. So it almost sounds practiced because it's the second time.
It
And I
makes it
wanted
all
to show you
polished.
guys. Yeah, exactly. It's show you guys my mug. It's in my shop, and it's official like podcast swag. And this is actually me when I was little. So
I
um,
love it.
yeah, um, it like I feel like it represents my personality pretty well. Those expressions.
It's perfect.
Um, so yeah, so I wanted those. I figured we could just talk about whatever, but I definitely wanted to cover the clown stuff, and then you could talk about like your vintage shop stuff that you've been doing, and anything else that comes up. But I wanted to put it out there. You were the person that got me like, well, I started being like, oh, maybe I should try that, but I don't know, I'm gonna get kind of chicken out of doing the face paint. You're like, do it, and got me got me going on this thing that is not something I would have ever expected to be doing in my life, since I don't like being in front of the camera, but now I'm in front of the camera all the time.
All the
And
time. It's crazy.
it's constant.
Because I
Um,
remember it was like puppets and you did LED light dances
yeah, with a mask on,
with a
so you can't
mask
see
on.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it was very interesting. It's evolved so much. And like, but the clown stuff, that's just been, it's just weird how it just kind of evolved out of like just some Halloween ideas I had in 2020 to TikTok had a filter that was like, you should be this for Halloween. And then you were supposed to switch the filter and come in costumed as what it said you should be.
huh.
And so I was like, I have the clown stuff. And I was like, I'm going to buy this colorful wig. And I bought that candy colored wig, which is still my favorite one that I wear all the time. But for whatever reason, I was just like buying stuff off of Amazon. I was home from the pandemic and I was lonely and I had nothing to do and it was Halloween and it just never stopped being Halloween.
Yeah, it's funny because I don't even dress up for Halloween. I tried to when I was younger, but I would always get like really uncomfortable. So now it's interesting because I have this thing that I do that in theory I could do it for Halloween. I just haven't yet.
Yeah,
Um,
this could be the year
yeah,
you go out in public and on
yeah.
Halloween.
I know I haven't done that yet either. I want to eventually just go to an event, but I just haven't had any opportunities to go anywhere. Like everybody I know that goes to events has like basically started moving out of the state, and um,
Yeah.
I'm not going to go by myself. I'm not. It's just more fun with other people. So
Yeah, there's not
yeah,
usually a lot that are close to where I'm at anyway, but I know that CreepyCon, it looked like there was a bunch of people that we follow that went to CreepyCon recently. That looked
yeah,
like it was fun. It would be
yeah,
nice to go to something like that and like meet a bunch of TikTokers like all at once in character.
yeah. That would be cool. And I know like it's like the oddity curiosities one. It's more for shops and stuff and like makers, but people do go like dressed up to those as
Oh,
well.
nice. Nice. Any excuse to dress up and I'll go. So
Yeah. So
now,
do you have like a clown look that's like your favorite that you enjoy, like the process of like putting it on and all that, or
yeah, I really like that kind of longer pastel wig and then whatever makeup I can do that matches that. It never looks wrong. It always looks right. Like I always get a lot of compliments on it. It fits my face. And so it just seems natural. Like I don't have to think about it too much. Even though I do
yeah.
like playing with other wigs. It's just that one just feels like my hair.
Yeah, I've noticed that some of my wigs just seem to like carry the look for
Yeah.
people. It's interesting. And then I got one nose, and it still kind of weirds me out because it changes my nose so much that like sometimes I really like it. Sometimes I'm like, oh, that's really awful because it's so bulbous, you know? And you've committed to like the really just crazy, icky looking noses,
Bulbous
right?
nose.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just love it. It's just like this most ridiculous thing because the makeup looks all pretty and then you put this horrific nose on it. And
I love the pig nose. I think it's my favorite.
I love that. It's attached to glasses. Those are just cheap, you know, uh, character glasses or whatever that you can get from Amazon that had different noses on them. They were great. Definitely worth the buy.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Now you have like a black nose, don't you?
Yeah. It's
Where
got
did
like
you get
white.
yours?
I can't remember the name of the shop. They're on Etsy. It's not the one that everyone gets them from. It's from but they're like in France, and it was like half the cost of the company that's really popular.
Huh.
Um and my only complaint with it is it's got like a little bit of white residue on it that won't come off, but I feel like it doesn't really show up that much in the pictures or videos.
I
So I don't
haven't
worry about
noticed.
it.
Yeah. It's pretty cool
Yeah.
though, because you don't hardly see black nose that often. So,
Yeah. And I just like really like doing black mouth. So I was like, well, I need to get a nose that matches. And
see, only you would
yeah.
think it needs to match. It's like, yeah, it should match. Whereas I'm just like, I've been taking my color palettes and trying to go horizontal. I'm running out of ideas. So I just flipped it around and like, I was like, okay, I have to work with every color in this row. And it'll be
Yeah.
like orange and purple are on the same row or however you turn it, but you turn it in a way to where it's not fading. And then it gives you a really weird color combo and you can like play around.
Yeah. Every now and again, I'll do like just completely like every single thing is a different color, you know? And when I do it, I hate it while I'm making the content. And then later I'll look at the content and be like, oh, that's actually not that bad.
Yeah. Yeah, that happens to me sometimes too.
Yeah.
I don't know. I tried to do a skull makeup today and I don't ever think that looks right. I think my face is too round to really do the kind of contouring that I try to do to her skull. It just doesn't look, it still doesn't look like everyone else's contoured skull face that they do with like the
Yeah.
temples and the chin and stuff. And with me, it just looks like a round face with blotches. Yeah.
Well, I would be curious to see it because I wonder if it would look that way to other people or if that's just how it looks to you because you put it on and it's your face and,
Oh,
you know.
most definitely. Yeah. I made 4 drafts and before I washed it off, but I was like, I'm at least going to get 4 drafts out of this. And I just was like not happy with my like lip syncing. You know, you have one of those days where you're just like,
It doesn't feel right.
You're like, why can't
Yeah.
I feel that line? I'm saying it, but I don't look
Yeah.
like I'm saying it with any kind of feeling.
Right. I have like where I do my makeup, and because it's such a energy drain, I just commit to making content and then I'm just not as animated as normal. And like those are the ones that like when I have a bunch of drafts, I pick those last because I just feel like they don't look as good. Other people don't seem to respond less to them. So, you know, maybe they're paying more attention to the sound I use than how I'm acting it out. But I'll be like, oh man, I could have raised my eyebrows, but I just didn't have the energy or something. I don't know. I wasn't feeling it that day.
Mm-hmm. Usually it's the energy, I think. And you just have to be a certain level of like loose and in the right mood. So I'm killing
Yeah.
ants, by the way. If I'm like looking down doing this, I'm killing ants. I don't mean to like, and I'm sorry for people that don't want me to kill ants, but we have an agreement and they're at my house.
Yeah. There's rules, you know. And I have the
Mm-hmm.
same thing with spiders. If they're in certain rooms or they're at a certain level in the house or certain types of spiders, I'm like, yeah, we have an agreement. You can't really be here, and I'm gonna vacuum you now.
Yeah. Yeah. That spider that one day that I told you about was so big, I was afraid it was going to get stuck in the hose.
That's
Like, big.
that's a big one.
Yeah. Yeah. Like he was battling my palm size. Like he was enough to where I could see him down the hallway out of my corner of my eye as I was watching his movements. And I'm like, we're going to try to sweep him out. Yeah. Like this would be like, you know, good body size of what that thing was.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I'm like, I gotta look away for a minute. My brain just like, gotta clean that out. I've had times where I've found spiders like by my bed and then it ran and I couldn't find it. So I went and slept on the couch. Just,
yeah.
You know, just like, nope.
Oh. Well, it's brown tarantula mating season right now. So the tarantulas are out too, along with the wolf spiders, and they're both really big spiders. So it's just like spiders in the yard time.
Yeah. Wow. I guess it's really good they don't like bark or something, because that would be up there with, yeah. It was just, I would be up there with the bug noises and the nope factor. I guess people would get used to it, but yeah.
I don't know. There's certain things I wouldn't get used to. I mean, the bugs from moving from California to Bug Central here in Oklahoma, it's been, you just don't ever, I don't think you ever really truly get used to it. You don't mind it. You just don't get used to it. You just kind of,
yeah. I'm moving back to where the bugs are in California. Like I've been living the last like however long in places where it's like just ants and like daddy long legs and not really anything else going on for the most part. I mean, there are other bugs, you just don't see them. Oh, and cockroaches. And now I'm going to be back where there's all kinds of stuff that likes to come into your house. And I'm just like, I didn't miss that. You know, like when I was married, we had to spray the house because of scorpions and stuff. And just like not super excited, especially living in an RV where like, you know, I could seal it up as much as I possibly can and there's still going to be ways to get in there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I didn't even think about that. But you don't think about, I mean, other than scorpions, silverfish, right? Am I there? Like maybe some tarantulas in Northern California.
Yeah. And like pincher bugs, and there's like, we do have like the long ones with too many legs. I can't remember if it's millipedes or centipedes, and roly-polies. Those aren't so bad. Those are fun. Stink bugs. Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff. And the slugs.
I don't mind the roly-polies.
Yeah,
the snails. The snails are they're a bit much. They're evasive there, aren't they?
Yeah, they were brought apparently. Well, the story, I don't know if it's true, but the story is that somebody brought them from somewhere else because they wanted to make escargot, and they were bought cheap ones, and it ends up they're not good for escargot, and so they just tossed them, and then they just took over. So there were no snails here.
That's what I've heard. That's the legend I've heard of the California snail that's huge, that eats everything. Yeah. That when I remember being I had to have been like 9 or so, maybe a little younger. And I was like smashing them on the back porch, and I found like an organ inside of them. And I found like that common organ with inside of all of the ones I was smashing. And I just remember collecting all that organ and like putting it in a small little, like, I had these little teacups for my teacup set, and I put it in there, and I was like, Dad, look, these are really neat. I found them in snails. My dad's just like, that is disgusting. That's just gross. Like, what is wrong with you? But that's my memory of snails.
That's so funny. I used to play snail baseball. So I'd get a stick and just pull them off the plants in our yard. And because my mom was like, they're bad, they're going to eat the strawberries. And just pick them up, hit them with the stick over the fence of the neighbor's yard. And they'd like hit the wall and stuff.
Crap.
And yeah. It was like stuff that like now is too sensory no. Like I would just be like, oh no, like you can feel the sound of it. But when I was a kid, like I literally liked pulling full ticks off of dogs and smashing them when I was a kid, and now I would die. I just absolutely cannot.
Oh yeah, I remember picking ticks off my dog, and I cannot for the life of me even think about touching one right now. Like, luckily Dora doesn't get them. She's a suburban dog, but those country dogs, sometimes when they get those big ticks on them, I'm like, where are the pliers?
Gross. But it, like, the weirdest things that were like fun as a kid, and now I'm just like, no,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Go away. I love you. Sorry.
Go away.
I was like, oh no. We may have a couple of those. I apologize. I do the best I can to
It's all good.
No interruptions. But
yeah. I like to keep it authentic, so it's not you having a life it's not a problem.
Okay, good. Yeah, Robin, I am on a podcast, and my co-host and I have a lot. Sometimes we have to edit out, and we're just like, yeah, we'll just leave it in, or we can take that out, or oh, we totally called somebody by their real name. Time to edit that out.
Yeah. That's the only time I would probably like do an edit, is if someone was like, oh wait, I don't want that information. But otherwise, the entire thing just gets put up, and
awesome.
It is what it is. Oh yeah, so let's talk about your podcast.
Yeah, Relational Circuitry, and it can be found at relationalcircuitry.com or anywhere where you listen to your podcasts. I even found it on some random podcast player app the other day, so it looks like it's pretty out there.
I'll get the link and I'll put it in the video info as well.
Yes. Our email address is input@relationalcircuitry.com. And the reason why is that the podcast is about relationship advice. Neither one of us are licensed therapists or anything like that, or, robots, but we have used kind of like our personal experiences to just answer questions and kind of tell stories based on what we've been through in our lives. So
yeah,
and hopefully it's interesting.
I need to get caught up, but I've listened to I think 4 episodes. I've been trusting my Spotify to play stuff for me, and then it has been playing, but I think it's neglecting some of the podcasts I'm subscribed to, because I haven't heard anything from you guys in a while.
Oh no, because it gets so much better.
So I'll have to go back and be like, hey, specifically play this one.
Yeah. Our episode, I think, love the episode on social awkwardness, because that's just everybody's favorite topic. And I love social awkwardness. And every time I talk about it, I feel more comfortable. So
yeah. I think for me, if I go into a room, say I went to a party, I tend to be drawn to the most awkward of the people in the room.
Same.
It's just, and I don't know, I think people are like, oh, too awkward, or, and I'm like, no, that's so much more comfortable, because then I don't feel like I don't even know how to act any other way than myself. So some people can put on social graces and have this mask and stuff, and I can't. So it's just, yeah. I like people that also cannot.
I did try, we've talked about it before, but I decided this one point in time in my life that I was going to actually try to run for an office, and the anxiety that had to come with it, because of the fact that they do kind of groom you, or I was working with an agency that was kind of trying to groom me into a candidate type of person, that was so unnatural feeling, and so just the anxiety it gave me and what I was actually trying to do, it just kind of ruined, and gave me a bad taste in my mouth. It was just it wasn't their fault. It was just not I'm going to have to do it as myself. The crazy candidate that's just, the crazy libertarian candidate, and that's how it's going to have to work. So,
yeah, I can't imagine trying to behave or in a way that's not like that would literally, I don't have a lot of social anxiety. That would give me social anxiety, having to mask like that and like worry about it and be like, am I doing it right? And like trying to like function socially with that program running would just be,
Yep.
it would be too much.
They make you rewrite your narrative. They make you spend about 2 hours writing a narrative of your life so that you can like regurgitate to people. And you're not supposed to like, they basically go in and polish your narrative. So you tell them your life and then they tell you how you're going to say it. And it really is uncomfortable, but or more or less tell you how you're going to say it. They're telling you the proper way to say it so that you don't sound inexperienced. Is their nice way of saying like a yokel.
Yeah. or even sound like a real person.
Like a real person.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's weird.
Yeah. I think it was I was doing some sort of weird 5K, and I'm not a 5K person. Man, it wasn't a weird 5K. It was a great 5K. It's great the city was doing it. I was doing it to like be involved and stuff, but instead of volunteering, which is what I should have done, I decided to like actually run it. And I was like, oh, this sounds like a great idea, until I had the anxiety that morning before it even started of being like, what am I doing with my life? I can't run. I'm in no shape to do this. It took me 45 minutes, but I mean, at least I can say I did it, I guess.
Yeah. Did you actually try to run or did you just walk it?
I tried to run a little bit. I started off running, and then there was a couple of times I had to stop because I felt like I was going to die.
Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently 45 minutes
walk.
wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, if you started and you finished, you did it, and that's all that,
matters.
Yeah, life isn't a race. It's like we have our own individual experiences, and that's kind of, I don't think I would ever sign up for anything like that, but if I did, I would walk it anyways because I'm not built for running.
Yeah. That's I haven't ran since high school, so my body was definitely doing that whole cartoon thing where it's like the brain was probably getting a message from the muscles, and the muscles were probably like, what is she trying to do? And the brain was probably just like, I don't know, she's running. It's like, well, we're calling for a full shutdown down here, and that's exactly it.
Yeah,
because I remember feeling beat up.
Gosh, I'm so out of shape now that I'd probably just end up like throwing up or something if I ran at any length, because it's just too much. I'd just be like, oh.
Yeah, my heart would just beat out of my chest,
Yeah.
I don't know. And I mean, I realize that I'm not very like, I know it's because I have kind of a sedentary lifestyle for the most part. I do keep myself busy, which we'll get into the shop, I guess. That's a good segue. But I've been recently trying to keep myself busy with antiques and reselling antiques, getting myself out of the house again. But just even the muscle movement of not sitting here in the house for 8 hours, but sitting somewhere else for 8 hours is exhausting. And I'm like, I don't remember when that happened.
Yeah. That's been like lately I've been doing all this stuff, like doing a lot of driving, and I literally have spent the last 10 years hardly going anywhere. And now I'm like driving somewhere a couple times a week, and I'm taking like naps, and I'm just like, why is this so tiring? And I know some of that's because I have health issues that make me like super fatigued, but it's also, I feel like even if I was healthy, it would feel like more than it used to do that stuff.
I can't believe you drive that much. Honestly, that's like one of my biggest things is driving right now, and just being behind the wheel, just the physical and mental toll that a long drive takes on a person.
Yeah.
Is what I cannot imagine right now.
And the gas cost, it's like $6 a gallon or something.
Man.
So I'm like so tired of the like driving to the RV. I'm like, can I just live there now? I don't want to do this drive anymore. I'm so tired of it. It's, you know, that one lane highway, and it's always backed up, and it's just like super boring. And I'm literally watching the people around me swerving all over because, you know, they're looking at their phones, and I'm like, oh god, I'm gonna die.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh yeah. That's the kind of stuff. And Facebook's likes to, or Facebook, not the Facebooks. I'm not that old, but Facebook likes to show me reels of cars in accidents on highways, or like cars having like issues on the doing like crazy driving maneuvers on highways. I don't know where that started coming from. And of course I watch them because I love the anxiety.
Yeah.
And so they show me more of them. They're like, oh, check out this truck driver. And I'm like, I don't want to watch this. Okay, I'm watching it. I mean,
I don't, you get showed like the worst stuff for your anxiety. It's so weird. Like it like
roller coasters.
Yeah, like I don't see anything like that in my feed. The thing that I did started seeing, and it was after my son and I had a conversation about it, was crime stuff in the area I'm moving, like, because if it's a certain type of crime, it's always people who are not from the area, like thefts and stuff. If it's drug or alcohol related, it's always somebody that's from the area. And he was telling me there's this pattern. And then I started getting like all the stuff in my news about like, you know, local man, DUI, blah, 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 crack, blah, 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 you know, like, and I'm like, okay, Google, you're being creepy again. Like,
yeah. It's like, I didn't need to see that.
Yeah.
Being
But
nosy.
like, yeah, like 2 weeks ago, I was driving and I drove past like where the buses park at night, like the apartment for buses. And there were a bunch of cops there, and there's one literally with his like rifle out, like, and I'm like, what the hell's going on? And my son sent me the article for it later, and they were trying to arrest a guy who had been annoying a child, not doing anything perverted, not like anything. They had no proof that he was actually being malicious. He was just annoying a child, and it's literally what the article said. And they were trying to like pick him up and arrest him for it. And I was just like,
what counts as annoying a child?
Yeah, they described it as like he was like talking to the kid, and I don't know, like he was driving the bus. So I don't know, like bus drivers, I remember when I was a kid, bus drivers used to talk to me. I don't know if he was being rude or they didn't give any description, but it was such a weird descriptor to be like going out and arresting a guy with like a full on like rifle, you know, because they didn't have like a pistol. They had like, you know, it looked like a semi-automatic or something. Like, and I'm like, just to arrest a bus driver that was annoying a kid, like, oh, okay.
Like guns drawn.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So back to the antique stuff. I know that was something that you'd been thinking about for a while, because you like had talked about it a couple of times, and then you started doing it. And I knew that you were doing it, and you showed me pictures of some of the stuff you got. But then when I saw an actual video of like your shop space and all the stuff that you got, I was like, God damn, like you had like you had just dove right into it and
head first.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I am a collector, and so I had a lot of stuff that I needed to make a decision on, because I feel like clutter is my biggest thing. And if I can't show it off, then it's not collecting. Then it's just becoming clutter and stuff that I probably don't need. I really had to come to a decision on some of that stuff. Is it like, am I just keeping it for my sentimental value, or because like I bought it because I thought it was neat one time and it's time to let it go and find a forever home? Then people started giving me stuff because they were like, oh, this is a great place to get rid of my stuff. And I'm like, great. So I ended up with more, and then I kept finding things because I do shop. I always go to like, I don't go very far because I don't like to leave the house, but I do enjoy my secondhand stores and my garage sales and my Goodwill bins and my flea markets if I can get to them, because they don't seem as anxiety driven. They're not really that crowded. No one's really talking to you. They're all like minding their own business.
Yeah.
The Goodwill bins are a bit overwhelming. People are a little pushy there, and then you find stuff and it's like, I don't need this stuff. What am I going to do with it? I should sell it.
Yeah. I just, the thing, I don't like secondhand stores. They're like sensory stressful for me. A lot of times, unless they're really well organized, they like stress me out. Because I don't like going through stuff. I don't, it's like, I have a friend who loves doing that. So she will find things for me. Like several of my clown outfit pieces are from her, enjoying doing that, knowing that I don't enjoy it. And I've even been to thrift stores with her where I just hung out on my phone catching Pokemon while she was like looking for clothes for me, you know? And but I have started like kind of sneaking into them sometimes, and I go right for the kids section. I'm just looking for dolls that I could like paint on, you know?
Yeah, that'd be a cool idea.
Yeah, just I don't know. I just decided I wanted to do that. I have absolutely no like reason for it except that I just want to make them all look like clowns.
I thought about the doll that Joe sent. I thought about painting it like a clown or something.
Yeah.
When it was sent to me, it was naked.
Yeah.
I had to
He'd
buy
probably
it.
like that.
Yeah, if I painted it like a clown. That's a good idea,
Yeah.
though. But
I might actually be meeting him later this month if it works out, because he's going on a road trip.
Nice. Sorry, I'm seeing if someone will feed my cats.
Feed the cats.
Well, they're both on the table staring at me, so. And I can't do anything about it.
Amos is usually like behind me, but I don't know. He's not back there now.
Well, so. He was earlier though.
Yeah. So. A lot of videos, he's just like sleeping like right there. He's been, since we moved in here, because we're just in like a small room, he's been really quiet, so he hasn't been a very good co-host.
Yeah, that's not good. You need the meowing.
Yeah, we'll see how, like, once we're in the RV, maybe because he'll be able to run, so maybe he'll relax and make more noise.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. Has he been in it at least to sniff it out? Have you even taken him there? Okay, I didn't know.
No, because I haven't even been able to open it up yet because it doesn't have power. Like, so tomorrow, get the batteries in, and hopefully that means I can level it, which means I'll be able to open it up.
Yeah.
And then
I need a charger. Sorry, I'm getting a charger. I think the kids have it. Sorry. My bad.
Yeah. Good.
Little glitch, little technical difficulty.
Yeah, actually the RV's like covered in mouse poop from like the desert mice, and there's like that disease or bacteria they carry, so I want to make sure that I clean the RV very thoroughly before I even let Amos in there. It's, cats don't get that illness very often, but like the lady that I got the RV from, her cat got it from being out in the desert. So
oh no,
I can't remember what it's called. It's really irritating to me that I can't remember what it's called, but yeah. So
do they eat the poop? Is it that, or how do they get it from just inner touching it?
I'm not sure.
Oh.
Yeah. I just want to, it might be that the poop's not the problem and it's just the mice themselves, but I think the poop usually carries whatever bacteria animals have. So it's better safe than sorry. I'm gonna, like, when I clean, I'm gonna wear like a respirator and all that.
Yeah. Any kind of like vermin poop, scat. I think they call like possum and raccoon scat. So
yeah.
But that's why I worried whenever we had the raccoon infestation, where they had to have them come and disinfect like the attic and everything. not just
Yeah.
remove the raccoons, but
I
that was a
didn't
mess.
I didn't know that was a thing with the raccoons. I've never heard that. It's
Yeah.
interesting.
It's you couldn't, I mean, they had been nesting up there for, oh no.
And we're back after some technical difficulties. I am totally leaving that "oh no" in there.
Okay, good. That was fun.
There's a "oh no," and I was like,
Like, oh no. Yeah, it just went completely black. I was like, oh, here we go. Like, I am so not professional. We have that happen on our podcast sometimes too, because you can't help it. We both have my co-host and I both have children, and sometimes they don't, I mean, they're not going to care about recording.
Yeah.
Just like cats. So I mean, you know,
it is
yes.
yeah, I think it's just a natural, like, I mean, I know, like, it would, people like want to have like this professional, like everybody's in a booth and blah blah, and I don't, like, I'm not here for that. Like, even once I'm in the RV and I have the RV like set up to record and stuff, like, I'm not looking to like have people on that are like professional podcasters or any of that. I just want to have good conversations and like with real people, you know, relatable people.
Yeah, no, of course. That's kind of the point on ours, is that, you know, that makes it more listenable, I think. That's what I enjoyed about your other podcast that you have with Tyler. I enjoyed that quite a bit because of the chemistry you two had. So
yeah, we like, I'm curious to see over time if like it mellows out, just because it's like talking, you know, like talking to a new person, getting to socialize when I don't get to socialize that much. Plus we're like talking about stuff that's interesting. So it's like they end up being like 2-hour episodes. And I'm curious, like, the longer we do it, if it'll kind of like trim itself down, or if we'll just keep, you know, doing that, like, or they'll just be long.
Some of those stories might just be long, depending on the characters that are chosen. So I think to be that informative, because you don't, I could see both of you not wanting to leave any part of the story out. So, you know, you can get a good, I have no idea what that sound was. I think my other laptop is being weird and making robot sounds.
It's like, oh yeah, let me add some robot to this. There's not enough robot.
There's not enough robot going on here.
Yeah. I still need to go to San Francisco and find that corner where you like etched in the wet cement.
Robot Liz.
Yeah.
Find that. Sixth in Sixth and Geary, between Geary and Clement. So 6th Avenue between Geary and Clement. Yeah. Nice. On the, well, see, now I'm all, my north, south, east, west are all messed up, but I would say like on the south side of 6th as you walk along, there's like an Oriental bank. It's right, it's one of those cubes right there. If it's still a Bank of the Orient.
Yeah. I don't know. I have to motivate myself to, like, I'll need to go when I'm already have a reason to go to the city, because I'm not a big fan of going to the city, so I won't just go to go.
Oh yeah, know? If I had to drive it, I wouldn't be a big fan either.
Yeah.
I wouldn't take a car. Like, I remember being very young and having my father have to take a car to San Francisco and then like park for like dinner and just circle a block multiple times just looking for a parking space. And I just remember those nightmarish moments with a vehicle. And I'm like, anytime I've gone home, there's been no car involved, and it's been so much more fun.
Yeah. I could see that. Yeah, I don't know. There's just something about the vibe. In general, I think I don't like cities very much. Just too many people, and it's just too like all the little pockets in the city are cool, like Japantown, and the Russian district, which it's not really called that, but we call that, like, all the people I knew that are like Russian called that. And then like Chinatown stuff, that are all like just cool to like go visit. It was interesting when I was in Singapore, they had an area that was like India. Like you literally went into the area and it was like being in another country, like in like the Indian culture, it's not uncommon to see men like holding hands and stuff like that. And it's just like a normal part of their society that they don't do when they come here, because obviously there's this whole like issue with that kind of like affection, like men showing affection
here.
It's like it men here do not know how to see affection without sex being involved. And you know, in other cultures that's not always the case. And so it was cool being able to just kind of see this like snippet of a culture that I've never really gotten to see in its sort of natural habitat. Plus the food was like amazing. But
nice. That sounds awesome. I didn't know that, but that makes so much more sense. That's the patriarchy.
Yeah. I mean, and they have that stuff there too. It's just they just have different social roles. And it makes me wonder, like, you know, because we have this whole like epidemic of male loneliness. And I'm curious, like, and I'm going to try to remember to Google this later, if because they have this difference in how men are able to express affection within their friendships, do they have better friendships as they get older? Like, do they have the epidemic of isolation and loneliness that men in Western cultures have? You know?
See, they probably don't.
Yeah.
I would guess. Sorry.
Yeah. I was watching the smoke. It's not really smoke though, right? Is it like,
it's water vapor.
No, you're coughing. It's gonna be extra.
Oh no. Oh, I'm good. Sometimes those vapes are very hard on your lungs. So
yeah,
they can be like pretty bad. So I try to like take them easy, not worry about it. Or,
I've tried a couple, and they just hurt. I was like, I had a sore throat and stuff after, and I was just like, nope, not doing that.
Oh no, yeah. It's only when I like have been pulling on it for a minute, and then it like comes through really hot, and then it's just like, oh, that was a bad idea. Like I did it, obviously have hit it enough. I did it out of nervousness one more time, and it's like, that was too much.
Yeah.
So they're really good at catching you. So I keep looking at these spider egg sacs that are up here in the corner of this windowsill, and how I need to get those in a minute.
Yeah, you need to get those.
Yeah, there's 4 of them.
Don't leave those there.
I'm not gonna leave those there. Yeah, those are gonna go. I didn't see them there in a corner. Like nobody ever sits over here, and we haven't sat at the table in quite some time. I only sit here to like shoot a quick TikTok or like do a phone call, but I never sit here and like look around. And I'm noticing that these 3 windowsills are just, they need to be like fully cleaned out, like a deep clean. Maybe bust out the steamer.
Oh, a steamer! I'm gonna borrow my son and daughter-in-law's steamer for the RV. I'm like excited. I know it's so weird, but I'm like excited.
I love steamers. I do. If it wasn't for that green chair wouldn't have survived. So that thing's had everything on it.
That's true. The cat.
Yeah.
The
cat is one thing, but it's also had like throughout the years, it's had like child throw up and blood and stuff on it. And it's just, but I mean, it's an old chair that's just been through the mill. Someone actually asked about the chair. They asked me if it was sticky. So I made a reply video, and I'm going to post that soon. And I made sure to film it in the grossest way?
I don't remember it looking sticky, so that's an interesting question. Like,
Yeah.
where did that
I mean,
come from?
if you get it in the right lighting, it looks dirty because it's stained. Because the stains haven't necessarily come out. They've been scrubbed out and steamed out best as possible, but there's still some discoloration, right? So I'm assuming they either got an angle where they wondered that, or they follow me on. Can I mention my other account?
Yeah.
Okay, well, then they either that or they follow me on OnlyFans and they're making a joke about that.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. I was like, I wonder if they saw, you know.
Yeah. And then so I made sure to make like a really funny video replying back. So
nice. I look forward to seeing that.
Nice.
To make sure that I see it. I usually see your stuff just because like if you comment, then I go look at your account. But so even if you don't send it, I'll see it.
That's why I stopped sending them unless it's one that I'm like, I know that I want her to see this before like anyone else even gets a chance to see it. But
so your OnlyFans, is that, I know you mentioned your subscribers had picked up recently. Did they stick around or?
Yeah, I'm at 27 at the moment, so I don't know what I've been doing right, but I picked up a few and they've been hanging around for a minute, so that's good. So I'm just kind of static between this like 25, 27 mark. And it's been that way for a couple months, so it's just want to see if that grows at all. And it might with my activity on TikTok. And it seems like the activity from TikTok trickles into Instagram, trickles into OnlyFans.
I could see that. Yeah, mine does not, like, I got a few subscribers recently, but it is from Twitter. And I've just gotten a lot of support from there. But like, my stuff doesn't, I think that because of the way my content is, it's like not something people expect from me. So when they find out that I have that, it's kind of jarring instead of interesting or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. Like,
well, I don't know if I would say it was jarring. I mean, if I were like one of your followers on TikTok, I'd be intrigued. Are you saying they would be like you're like one of those types
like these
of people?
responses where they're, well, I don't know about the judgment, but more like people are surprised because I don't really put out like sexual vibes in my TikTok content very much. And so I think it comes from out of nowhere for them, you know, so there's not like a sort of a tie-in or a continuation. So it doesn't, and I'm not tantalizing people and making people curious and making them want to sign up for it by putting out like stuff that would sort of intrigue them, you know. So I think I don't have that relationship. Like, yeah, I don't have that relationship like you have, because like your stuff, like every now and again, like some of the stuff you wear in itself can be like suggestive, but then like you'll do videos that are like pretty suggestive as well. And
the jokes are suggestive. Yeah, the jokes are blue. I purposely look for like, I laugh at jokes that are like dirty. So sometimes I look for if I'm looking for a sound that no one else has used, and I find one that's like, you know, blue, I'm like, yeah, I go with it. It's great. I'm like, that would work perfectly. And I'll ham it up with the costuming. But at the same time, it's like the opposite of who I am. And so it's like I take it all the way. And I don't know. It has just increased as I've kept doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have the like confidence, but I also don't come across sounds like that very much. And so I don't think that I get like inspired to think that way either, because I'm not seeing the sounds. Like the only sounds I see that are like that are yours. And, you know.
Yeah, I had to go find mine. I did. I had to go look. I put in like lady comedian, and I put in like female comedian. Like I had to put in weird stuff just to get people like, who am I thinking of? I just used her sound. Chelsea Handler. And then it led me down that rabbit hole of these comedians that were just, they had those kind of, just, they all had a joke about their vagina or their boobs. It just worked. So
Yeah. How much do you practice, like, to remember to be able to lip sync to it? Because, like, I have like, if it's a long enough piece, I can only remember like sections at a time. It's really hard for me.
if it's too long, I break it up.
Yeah.
And then I just try to make it interesting to where, like, maybe I dazzled the mind and people were too busy looking at me and they didn't think about the fact that I cut it up to memorize it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Because I've noticed sometimes with music you do that, but like you every now and again you'll do one and it's just one piece, you know? And I'm like, dang, how'd you remember all that?
I take them in. I have to listen to it a few times. Like there was one I was trying to do today that was like that. And I was like, I had to do it like 10 times. I was like, I have to hear it. It's so simple. I'm like, it's 8 seconds of words. I should be able to get this right. I don't understand. Your brain, once your brain remembers it one way,
Oh
it remembers
yeah.
it wrong.
It like it'll just juxtapose. Oh my God. Thank you. Come on, mouth. Oh, it'll like switch the 2 words around and then like no matter how many times I do it, I say it wrong every single time. And I'm like, but I just told you do it this way. And the next, you know, and if it's too fast, I can't keep up with it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I'll save the really fast speaking ones for the puppets. Or if I really want to say it, I'll do the higher speed so it slows it down. But I don't like doing that, so I try not to do that.
I'll slow it down. If I have to use that super slow speed, I will. But then I have to remember to like try to like I try to compensate my movement with that so that it looks as natural as possible. But
yeah, exactly. Yeah. I don't enjoy the look. Like some people do stuff with that adds to the comedic value and it works, but a lot of people just do it really fast and I don't like the way it looks. I've actually had people message me and be like, well, you should speed it up, it'll look better. And I'm like, actually it will look fake and I don't like that. Yeah. So I usually only do that if I'm duetting someone that did it, so that way the looks are matched.
Unless it goes with a song, like when I do songs and it like messes with the energy of and looks like a music video, then I understand moving faster and stuff. I've done that before.
Definitely.
Which I've been thinking about wanting to do more like lip sync music videos, but I haven't had the energy to like, it takes a lot of editing. And TikTok's still breaking sounds. Like I'll segment a sound up and get it all ready to go. And then if I start recording, I have to record that last segment first or it will lose the sound just on that last segment.
That's weird.
It's so weird. And I've reported it, but it is what it is. Like they haven't.
Yeah.
My favorite saying.
I don't do like segmenting stuff because I have such bad luck with TikTok bugs that I'm like, the more complicated I make it, the more likely it's going to break. And it's bad enough that it loses my sounds when I save them to draft and I have to go back and find them again. You know, I have trust issues. And so like, I'm afraid to really commit my energy or time into like making it more complex. And I know like my videos don't look as like, whatever as somebody who does like cool transitions or whatever, but I'm not willing to use my energy on something that's gonna break. Like if they made their shit like work well, then I'd be willing to commit to it, you know?
Yeah. I was trying to just do a simple response video to reply, and I was having all sorts of editing issues. And I'm like, I'm just trying to record it in segments because part of the answer was part of the process that I was doing, which was getting ready and how I do it. And I was having problems just doing that. And I was just like, I just need to know that you're going to work when I need you to work.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
But
And the other thing, they started integrating the CapCut functionality into their video editing, which is cool.
Yeah.
But one of my complaints is when you do like a transition between the two clips, it like shortens the clip. And so then anything after that transition, the sound is then out of sync. And that makes absolutely no sense to me. Like, why wouldn't the transition just take up the same amount of space that you selected and not cut the image and then break the sound? Like,
yeah, I haven't even played with the CapCut editor in TikTok, just CapCut, regular CapCut. But I've just recently been playing with it. And then I've also been playing with video edit, but I'm a long ways off from really putting a lot of effort into that. I mean, when the weather, this week was a nice week for weather to go outside. And so I kind of did it this morning, but I have such a small window for if I want to go outside, and I have so many visions for like outside shots. And it is, will you get a lot of opportunities to be outside?
if I want people to watch me.
How many eyes will be on you?
Yeah, well, it depends. Like, the neighbors are all relatively far away, but they're still there. Like, you see people walking their dogs and stuff pretty regularly. And then on the property itself will be like my ex and their other kids and my ex mother-in-law and my son and my daughter-in-law. But
That's
like,
awkward.
I think I'll just get used to it and not worry about it too much, you know?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I
fun.
have been making videos for the RV noob segments that I've been doing, and I'm starting to just like, I just record them knowing that somebody could like walk up. Or so yesterday I was recording my son like walked
You can
up
unmute the TV, by the way. Sorry.
and started doing stuff, and like I was just like a little embarrassed, but it's getting easier. Like, I'm getting less self-conscious about actively filming myself when there's people around.
That's good, because you have all this beautiful area and beautiful like temperatures to work with year round. And that's, I'm so jealous of, because it's either too hot or too cold here for like an expanse. And I get these brief little windows in the spring and fall where I can make really cool videos. So
yeah,
hopefully I get a nicer fall this year.
I'm looking forward to it cooling down, because it's been like 90 pretty consistently for a while. But the area where I'm staying gets the breeze from the ocean, and so by like 4 p.m. it's like windy and gets really cold, pretty much, like, unless it's really hot out, and then it still cools down, it'll still drop down quite a bit. So you get like this extreme drop very suddenly. So I'm gonna have to get used to bringing a sweater with me again. Like,
yeah,
when I lived closer to San Francisco, it was like that too.
That's nice. I miss that. That would be ideal for me. Like, I just love that type of consistent weather that kind of blows in and out like that, where I always have a sweater or a hoodie, but yet I don't need it all the time. That was just perfect. And here, I mean, I just, I'm not really good at dressing for extremes. Like, I run out of ideas. Like, in the summertime, I have this one linen dress that's like a tank top short thing, and I just wear that because it's just like, I'm just keeping everything covered because I have to. That's what it feels like. And and then in the wintertime, I'm layering everything on, like gloves, the little like fingerless gloves, and the like sleeves, and the hoodie, and the whole.
I would hate that.
Yeah.
I would hate it. Being from California, like, I want to be able to wear flip-flops pretty much like 99% of the year, right? Like, because even if it gets cold, it's not so cold that you can't wear flip-flops. You're not going to lose your toes. You know, you just have cold feet. It's fine. And I do not like layers. I do not like having to wear a jacket. Like, the way that it feels to have like a sweatshirt over my shirt like really irritates me. So I would not do well like where it's like really, really cold or whatever.
Yeah, during those Arctic blasts, you would be like really miserable. You'd just stay in your house and have the heater cranked.
Yeah, that's what I do anyway.
Yeah. That's what, I mean, when we, that's the thing, even when we had our Arctic blast, like we have bad windows on this side of the house. We have new windows on that side of the house and bad windows on this side of the house. And when you're on this side of the house, you still want to be in layers because it gets so cold. Yeah. And the heater just cannot keep up. And it's just, you just want to, you know, go crawl in the corner and die.
Yeah. The last place they stayed at had like new windows on one side of the house, and then the bedroom had the old windows, and it was the difference was like huge. But thankfully it's the bedroom, so I was getting underneath the blankets anyways, and so it wasn't as noticeable. But it was like we are just walking through the house and you could like feel like the air difference just from the windows.
Sorry.
Night.
Thank you.
Well, we got that on video. I might slow that down for fun.
I felt it coming on. I was like, there's two in the chamber. But anyway, go on. You said the air.
Yeah, so just like moving around through the house, like where the windows were old, like it was just such a huge difference, like how the air felt, you know? So I can kind of imagine on a more extreme scale, like how it is in your house when you go to that side.
Oh yeah. It's just like that. It's just like, but
like bedhead.
I mean, you know, you got to take out like a second mortgage for another set of windows.
Dude, yeah. I know. When I got windows in my house when I used to be a homeowner, and the windows were, they were like, I think I paid like $18,000 or something for them. And I shopped around pretty aggressively before I found a place that, because the thing with windows is like, window companies are notorious for saying, well, you're going to have a lifetime warranty or a 10-year warranty. And then they change business names and all that. They go out of business, start a new business so that they don't have to uphold the warranties. So I found a company that had been in business for 40 years and had really good like reputation, and got my windows from them.
Yeah. We did some shopping around. There's one good name in town, and you pay for what you get. You know, you're paying for them because of the fact they've been in business for as long as they've been in business, and that they are the biggest game in Oklahoma. And so it was for us, it was 14 for 3. Well, it technically counts as 9 windows because of the way they're shaped. It's like 2 pieces and then there's an arch. And so for the 9 window, and so we replaced 3 of those, so 9 windows, and that was 14. So
yeah, and when you have like weird windows, it like they had said like my price, because the upstairs like has just like these small windows, it wouldn't have cost as much, but the downstairs had these windows that are like 6 feet tall or something. And they have to be tempered a special way because they go all the way to the ground, and like it's like this whole thing is so like racked up the prices. But that was like in 2014 too, so that was before like the inflation made it even more expensive.
Yeah, which is terrible. That's what everyone's been telling me, but we haven't had that much done this year. We've had some painting done and a light put in, but it was all done by people we knew. We have the homie hook up with people.
Yeah.
Which is very helpful.
Yeah, I'm planning to do most of the work on the RV myself, and then only hire somebody if it's stuff that's like I'm either not well and it has to be done, or it's something that's just outside what I can physically handle, or outside my like skill set, and I'm not confident that I can learn it and do it well. So I am paying somebody to change out the solar batteries, but that is predominantly because I cannot physically lift the batteries. They're like 90 pounds each. And there's 8 of them. And I'm like, and they will take them and get rid of them. And so there's like, to me, like paying, I think he's charging me for 2 hours of work, so it's like $300, and that, plus I paid for the batteries, so I'm paying $300 for somebody to come take all these batteries away and then wire them all up for me and just take care of that. He used to be an electrician before he became an RV tech, so like I feel like that's totally worth the expense.
Yeah. Yeah. That's definitely something I wouldn't do myself anyway. So, any kind of electrical work
Not
of
a
any
fan.
kind. Yeah. I replaced a light fixture in this house once and I worried about it for so long. My cousin finally came over and double checked it for me.
Yeah, I can see that. I need to do the carbon monoxide thing because it's wired in, but that's like, I can do that. Like, as long as I know that the power is off, I can do that one and twist them in, and that's, my brain can handle that without being like, I'm going to burn my house down.
Yeah, that's different.
Yeah.
I can even relate to that. And see, that's what I thought I could do whenever I.
Sorry to interrupt, but we ran a little bit long and I decided that we should split this up into two. So tune in again next week and hear the rest of this conversation. Thank you for listening and have a good week.